So the first thing we have to do is create the Niagara system. So right click, go to Effects in Niagara system, and select New System from Selected Emitters. Press Next. And on here, you want to go down and search for Fountain right here, and press the plus and hit Finish. I'm going to name this NS underscore rain for Niagara system. So now you can go ahead and open it up. So as you notice, currently it's a fountain, so it's going upwards. We want to go downwards. So to do this, we are going to delete the shape location for the sphere and the add velocity and cone. And as you can see, it goes straight down in a line. Obviously, we do not want it in a straight line. So to fix this, we are going to hit the plus on particle spawn and search for box location or shape location and set this to box/plane. So now we can adjust the box size to make the particles spawn in a wider range. I'm going to set mine to about 2500 on the X and on the Y. You can do about 2500 to like 5000-ish, just whatever you think looks best for you. Alright, so you notice the circles are kind of falling slow, which we will fix. We will make them actual raindrops in a second. But to make them fall a little bit faster, go to particle spawn, click the plus, and search for add velocity right here. And on the Z, instead of it being 50, let's make it negative 250. And they should fall a little bit faster downward. Now, obviously, the lower this value, the faster they fall. So just whatever customization you want to make right there. So now also, when it's raining, we want a lot more drops. So go to the spawn rate, and right now it's at 90. You want to set it to about 1000 and get a lot more drops in there. And keep in mind, the more drops you have on screen, the slower and more performant or less performant this is. So if you need to, you could set it to about 750 as well, but just set it to somewhat of a value where there's quite a bit of drops. So now this next step will make the drops fall further down. So go to initialize particle, and right here in the lifetime mode, I sort of keep this setting the same because the farther they fall, the more they're on the screen at a time before they disappear. But keep in mind, if you do change this value, the further these two distances are away from 0, basically, the more particles there are on screen. However, what we are looking for in the initialized particle is to make these actually be raindrop shape instead of circles. So in the sprite size mode, right over here, click this, and instead of random uniform, you want to set it to non-uniform. And then the sprite size, to make raindrops super thin, you want to set it to about 1 and then 30. And as you can see, they're just super thin drops. You can up the size a little bit to like 1.5 and 35 if you want them a little bit more visible, but I personally just like 1 and 30 the best. Alright, and as you notice, you may not be able to see them on the video because they are kind of hard to see, but in your project, you notice that they are falling at weird angles. And to fix this, we have to go down here to the sprite render, and right here in alignment, you want to do velocity aligned. And as you can see, they are all straight down now. And if you want to add a little bit of wind to the rain instead of it being straight down, you can go back to add velocity and set the Y to about 100, somewhere in there. Or it might be a little too much, so just go like 25. Just make it slightly curve. So now currently we have the drops and they work, but they do not collide with anything. And this is also another part where the efficiency of this does go down the drain a little bit. But if you have a decent computer, then it should be able to handle this. So the first thing we need to do to make the drops have collision is on particle update, hit the plus, and search for collision right here. And mine didn't give an error, but there was a time when the collision did have errors on them, and there should be like a, if there is an error here, there should be like an option you can like fix itself on it. You should see like a little button that says fix issue, and then that problem should be solved. Alright, so now we need to add the collision event. So hit the plus again and search for generate collision event right here. And this will give errors even in the version I'm in. And to fix this error, you want to go to the emitter properties, and right over here in the emitter properties, you want to check this little box requires persistent IDs. And basically what this does is, or performance wise what it does, is it will use more CPU and more RAM. So that's where the memory cost and the performance cost takes a hit, because each one of these little drops is now determining its own collision. So now currently default on particles, when they hit something they bounce and it will look really weird for rain. But if you like that, you can keep it. But if you do not want them to bounce, then on particle update, hit the plus again and search for kill particles. And right here, do not hit the checkbox or they will just instantly die. As you can see, nothing will even spawn. So uncheck that. Hit this little drop down right here and search for has collided right here. So now the particles will destroy themselves when they collide with something. And so now if we save this, we are done in the particle system, and we can close this out. And now you might think you just need to just drag the particle system into your level like this. However, this is really unoptimized because you do not want to have to make rain spawn way over there when the player is right here. So that's why I also made this a little bit smaller, is so we can add this to the player. So I'm going to go ahead and delete this. Go to blueprints, or nope, that's my folder. Go to third person, blueprints, and BP third person character. And then hit add and search for a Niagara particle system component. And you can just rename this to be rain. And then over here on the particle system, find your Niagara system underscore rain right there. And then we want to drag this up above the player. You want to drag it up to get full use out of its height. You'd set it at about 950 or 1000, somewhere in there, so it gets full use out of the height. And once again, you can play with all the settings I showed you and make the rain be more optimal. And you can make there be a lot more rain. You can make the rain be thicker. You can make it fall faster, come down at a bigger angle for the wind. And so now if we minimize this, and we come over here and press play, you can see the rain is falling on the player. And that is one issue you have, is you can see it spawning above you. So that's why you want to get the height to be super high, and you can move it up and play with the height so the player can't see it spawning. But as long as you're not seeing it spawn, I think it looks pretty natural. You can change the material on it, but that's not for this tutorial. But yeah, that was basic rain and Unreal Engine. And as you can see, the collision we set up, which does have a performance cost, but if you're underneath an object like this, no rain comes under here, but the rain is on the outside still. So yeah, that was Simple Rain and Unreal Engine. If you enjoyed, subscribe for more, leave a like, comment what you want to see next, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.